He didn't sleep that night. He kept thinking to himself, hey, how about if Lithuania won? I would have been a part of defeating the United States, and that's the reason why he's not here. They can shoot the three, and that's one of them who can. Shestoff, Lavrinovic.
Mike, they score 35 points a game at the three-point line. That's a big weapon for them, and the United States must defend that.
He's 5 of 7 from three-point range. Jefferson inside, and he draws the foul. So Richard Jefferson will shoot 2. The United States, we've talked so much about they're struggling in terms of shooting the ball, but it's not just from three-point range. They've struggled at the foul line as well.
Well, when you watch Lithuania, every one of their guys can shoot. Every one of their guys can shoot the basketball. So big guys have to cover out on the floor, and that's one of the things they're going to have to make the adjustment. The United States is the big guys would have to either switch or they've got to get out and get a hand in the shooter's face. Lithuania shoots 47%. That is to feel very good for Richard Jefferson. He has been so struggling to see that ball go in the basket finally.
And as has the United States from a free throw standpoint, 59% from the free throw line. A large contingent of Lithuanian fans. There's Ramūnas Šukauskas. He's their leading scorer at over 18 a game. He gets another bucket to put them up 5-1.
He is a very active player. He shoots over 10 free throws a game, so he will drive that ball to the basket.
And you see Lithuania in that zone defense. Iverson, blocked. Aurelius Šukauskas, one of the leading shot blockers in these games. Ball knocked away by Marbury. That's Jasikevičius guarding Allen Iverson. Duncan. Iverson on the pull-up. Jefferson right there. Couldn't control it, but Lamar Odom can.
Second shot opportunity is very important for the United States. If you're going to shoot a low percentage, you got to get a lot of shots.
Iverson. And a 3-second violation called in. Unselfish to a fault that time. One pass too many.
Mike, the United States is averaging a little over 79 points a game in the Olympics. 48 of those a game come in the paint. So you know where the United States dominates. The problem is going to be Lithuania is going to pack that back inside there until they show they can make an outside jump shot.
And that has not happened on a consistent basis, but the defense has certainly been much better that time. Poor pass from Šukauskas.
See, Lithuania will turn the ball over. That's 2 straight turnovers.
They're the second worst team in terms of that. Jefferson drives hard, and a foul as he pumps his fist with a chance for a three-point play.
That's the kind of plays that Richard Jefferson is going to have to make for this team. He's a slasher. He's a cutter. 4 of 26 from the field going into this game tonight. These are the kind of scores that he gets when he's playing with Jason Kidd. Running the floor, getting layups, and then letting his jump shot come to him later.
This is another free throw, but Duncan right there to tip it in and tie the game.
How often have we seen in the Olympics that second man have the advantage actually on the rebound off the free throw because the inside man is so deep underneath with that trapezoid lane?
It has made a huge difference. That's Jasikevičius. He's their leading assist man, also a good defender. Gambles a lot on defense. Šukauskas has it knocked away into good active hands.
Well, the United States is very active, and that's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to get in the open court. They're going to have to run like they did against Australia in the 4th period. They outscored Australia 24-12.
2 on the shot clock. Šukauskas puts it in from three-point range. He had to just turn and fire. And Šukauskas able to knock it down. That's his first three-point attempt. He doesn't shoot him. He had no choice that time.
How about the look on Tim Duncan's face?
It's his first three-point attempt of these Olympic Games. Marbury from beyond the arc. And that could be so critical. Stephon Marbury, who's had some good fourth quarters passing the ball, ties it at 8.
Well, he's now 2 of 10 from the three-point line in the Olympics, 1 of 9 going into tonight's game.
Jasikevičius lost it. See, the United States has come out with some good defensive pressure. Šukauskas, Jefferson got a piece of it. Nice little catch that they had there. Smart play from Šukauskas to get it back to Šukauskas, and they're 4 for 4.
Very fundamentally sound player. Got caught in the air, and the minute he gave the ball up, Mike, he did not stand. He cut away from the defensive man.
Marbury again. Duncan tries to tip it.
That shot's too quick. You got to get Tim Duncan a touch. The 3 will be there.
And there he is once again. Jasikevičius. Šukauskas came down to set a screen. And another three-pointer.
Jasikevičius has not shot the ball well in the Olympics, only 6 of 18, but his numbers are more dictated by that heart that's beating inside his chest, not what he puts up on the board.
Odom, second effort from Lamar Odom. When he's been on the floor, he's played well. His one problem has been foul trouble.
He has gotten in foul trouble. Remember the game against Greece, Mike? He had the little bacteria, the bug, and was very weak in that game, but had 3 critical blocks late in the game when Odom had fouls.
And a foul call down the other end. It's going to go against Marjanovic, against Lithuania, or does he just have a cut? The official signaling to him, but I believe he has a cut, so he's going to have to sit down. Darius Sangaila comes back in.
This is what the United States' strength is in the Olympics. They average 13 more offensive rebounds, second chance points, almost 9 points a game. And look at points in the paint. Outscore their opponents over 18 points a game. That's where the strength of the United States lies. That's where they have to attack.
Nice pick and roll, but good help defense. I think Odom got a piece of it, but Jasikevičius is right there. A couple of broken plays that Lithuania has turned into points. And it's back to a 5-point lead. A reach-in foul called against Lithuania. So they're piling up some fouls in the early going. 3 team fouls already.
You can feel the energy level in this United States team tonight. They warmed up differently. They're up off the bench sooner. They're into this game tonight. They know the importance. If they want to win this pool, they have to win tonight.
Marbury, reverse layup from Marbury. Able to come out with, but they lost it. Wilton Truskowskis. Jasikevičius, no hesitation, rushed that one. Not a good shot. USA has the numbers. And Iverson forced the action. And a foul called, so Allen Iverson will go to the free throw line.
Truskowskis, the best shot blocker for Lithuania, and Allen Iverson drives that ball right to him, creates the contact, and then hangs in the air. Now, normally we see in the international game big men looking to take charges rather than block shots. He is a shot blocker. They call him the Spider-Man. He's a guy known to get up and try to attempt to block the shots. He will get in foul trouble, and that's one of the Achilles heels of this team.
He's second in these Olympic games in shot blocking, as Iverson knocks down the first. Allen Iverson is now the team's leading scorer, averaging at 16 per game, although he did not play a second of the fourth quarter in the victory against Australia. And Larry Brown went to his bench and they came through. And Iverson said all the right things afterwards. He said, got to play the hot hand. Sangaila running the floor, can't control it, and that's been a big point with the United States, accepting your role, accepting the fact that you might not get as many minutes. Iverson did a good job of that the other day.
That's what you have to do when you're on the Olympic team. You know, you've got other all-stars with you. The United States had a group on the floor that had it going, and Larry Brown stayed with them.
Jefferson. USA playing inside out.
That's why you don't want the quick jump shots. When Marbury hit the one, he came back and shot the quick one. Take your time. You're going to get inside-outside play. That jump shot will be there all night.
Jasikevičius. Iverson tried to game it, and he's got 7 points. United States now by 4.
Very high-scoring game now. Lithuania averages over 91 points a game. They are the leading scoring team in the Olympics, so they will put points on the board. The United States has got a lockdown on their defensive end.
They average 91 points. Alley-oop. Jefferson wisely comes back down, goes up. Shot won't go, but a foul. And Richard Jefferson, who has 4 total field goals so far in these Olympic Games, has 2 already. But the USA trail by 4. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the first. The United States trailing by 5 early. Bounce back in the game now tied at 17. One of the keys has been the play of Richard Jefferson. He has really struggled, Doug Collins. But Larry Brown sticking with him in the starting lineup for this game.
Well, remember now, you go back to the Australian game, Mike, and he struggled woefully in that first half. Shawn Marion was playing terrifically, so Larry Brown went with Shawn Marion. He had a great game, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Probably would have been very easy for him to start Shawn Marion tonight. He's gone with Richard Jefferson, giving him a dose of confidence. He's gotten off to a very good start tonight. Shawn Marion is very acclimated to doing what he's doing, so I think this is a good move by Larry Brown to not lose Richard Jefferson due to a lack of confidence. Shawn Marion's confidence is sky high. Now Richard Jefferson is playing well, so I think it's a very good coaching move.
Jefferson, 10 total points through the first 3 games. He's got 7 already as he's rewarded Larry Brown's confidence. They've also played much better defense. Now Lithuania is still shooting the ball very well, but Allen Iverson got caught on a pick, and he was guarding Aurelius Zhukauskas, who's 7'2", wound up drawing a charge on a terrific play from Iverson.
Well, he actually drew 2 fouls on him. He draws it on this end, and then he drove to the basket and got it earlier in the game, so he picked up 2 quick fouls on their center, which is going to be very important. They really don't have a backup center.
And Stumbergas also with 2, so they've got a couple of key players with 2. There's Darius Singaila, member of the Sacramento Kings. Shuffles it inside. Shot from behind. Duncan may have gotten a piece of it. Yoptokas misses. Lithuania has some depth as well. Marbury short on the pull-up. Also in the game for the first time, Arvydas Macijauskas. He's number 6 for Lithuania. As Stumbergas knocks that one down.
You got to get over the top of those screens. You cannot go under. You either got to switch, but you cannot go under and allow Lithuania to shoot. That's their strength, shooting that shot. Stumbergas just walked right into a 3.
Everybody can shoot the 3. I mean, they all come off the bench and knock it down. They're 4 for 5 already from there. And Odom is hammered. Good entry pass. Odom will go to the line as Lithuania in the penalty.
We talked about just the differences in the team. Look at this. Nobody even near Stumbergas. Miscommunication on the screen roll. You either got to switch or somebody's got to jump out and trap it and make him pass the basketball. But we talked about the difference in the team, inside, outside. Lamar Odom going strong to the basket and getting fouled. But the United States game plan, go inside. Lithuania be able to get you out behind that 3-point line. And that's whoever wins the battle of the paint of the 3-point shooting is going to win the game. Lithuania, the best in the Olympics at 47%. The opponents versus the United States are shooting 46%, and you see the United States are shooting 16% from the 3-point line. That's the worst in the men and the women's in the Olympics.
And another missed free throw, but Odom brings them within 2. Stumbergas off the dribble this time, and a whistle away from the ball will go against the United States. Lamar Odom appears to be the one. Only the first team foul, in fact, the first personal foul against the USA. And there's 2:46 left, as you see Dwayne Wade and Carlos Boozer come in for the United States.
Both of those guys played extremely well in the last game against Australia. I would expect to see LeBron James soon.
Ball poked away. Boozer immediately gets his hands on it, but Singaila takes it back. And a bad pass from Stumbergas, who's mad at himself. And another turnover for Lithuania, their 7th.
Well, 7 turnovers has led to 6 United States points. U.S. has only turned it over once, no points, so 6-0 difference, points off turnovers. We talked about that being a real key for the United States to get into their running game so they don't have to shoot so many jump shots.
And that offsets the 3-point shooting for Lithuania, at least early. Duncan. Yoptokas caught him, and Duncan, quick turn. Duncan has seen double and triple teams this entire Olympic game.
Well, after 7 turnovers in the first game against Puerto Rico, he has 10 for the tournament, only 3 in the last 2 games, getting much more comfortable knowing where his teammates are.
He's the top rebounder in the Olympic Games. He's also 4th in steals. Zhukauskas, he has been so hot. Again, their leading scorer knocks that one down. And he's 3 for 3 already.
He was 9 for 13 against Greece, had 25 points in only 31 minutes, so he's in a comfort zone offensively.
Iverson. Boozer trying to keep it alive. Ball knocked loose. Last touch by Lithuania.
If we can watch off the basketball, great matchup. Looks like Allen Iverson is going to come out of the game now, but Macijauskas, one of the best shooters, in the world, as Duncan knocks that ball in off the glass, trying to get open off screens, and the United States chasing. Here's Zhukauskas with that little pull-up jump shot. We've seen him shoot it at 3. We've seen him get to the basket, pull up and shoot it. Very impressive array of offensive moves.
Pretty much all of the top 7 or 8 players on Lithuania have either been part of an NBA camp or talked about as Duncan makes a tough move. So they all have very good ability. We talk so much about how the gap is closed between the United States and the rest of the world in terms of basketball, to the point where you could say, Doug, if the USA lost as Wade makes the steal. And Wade finishes the other end. The United States with their first lead of the game.
And the United States just keeps coming in with more energy. Off the ball defense. You got a shooter, you can't let him catch the basketball. Dwayne Wade does a nice job. He reads the screen, cuts inside, and he's off to the races with a flying dunk to give the United States the 2-point lead.
There's Macijauskas, terrific shooter, but Duncan gets a hand on it. Stumbergas stripped down low by Wade, but he got hit in the head. And a whistle blown. It's going to go the other way. The effort defensively has been the key for Team USA.
When you're a coach, you set up a game plan based on each team. Lithuania, you've got to defend the three, and you've got to pressure their guards. They will turn the basketball over. They're averaging 17 turnovers a game. They already have 7 in this first period. That is where the United States, 9 now in this period. So that's where the United States can use their speed and quickness.
Shawn, Marion, LeBron James in the game. James has played well last couple of games. Marion, the push shot won't go. Boozer, offensive rebound, draws the foul. And Team USA hitting the boards, leading by 2 with 45.1 remaining. They'll go to the free throw line again. For the 10th and 11th time of the opening quarter.
A couple rivals there in college. You see Darius Sengaila, who went to Wake Forest, Tim Duncan's alma mater, and Carlos Boozer, who went to Duke. So I'm sure those guys have knocked each other around a little bit in the ACC.
Doug, I was going to ask you, started to make the point that if the United States playing Lithuania today, Lithuania say they won the game, it's almost to the point now with the talent gap narrowed, it really wouldn't be an upset, especially the way they played in these Olympics.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of places around that feel like the Lithuania is the favorite to win this game tonight. Remember when the United States went to play Serbia and Montenegro in Belgrade in the exhibitions, Serbia and Montenegro was favored to win that game.
Kriskauskas being hounded by LeBron James.
Well, you can see the United States pressuring every dribble, every pass, every shot.
And the reaction from the bench after the foul. Shawn Marion knocked it away, but also gets called for the personal. And free throws now, first free throws for Lithuania.
If you look on the floor, Larry Brown has already gone to his bench. He's got all 5 starters are out. So he has 5 bench players on the floor right now. Stoudemire out there with Marion, Boozer, LeBron James, and Wade. This is a good group. This is a speed group. Against Greece the other night, the United States broke the game open a little bit in the second quarter with their pressure defense. LeBron James, you see him talking to Larry Brown. He's sort of become the leader of this group. Dwayne Wade playing more off the basketball. LeBron James handling more, looking to make plays.
Larry Brown has been stressing the point to this team. Yes, you lost in the Olympic Games, first time in NBA players, but your ultimate goal is still there. You still can win the gold medal. He's been stressing that with his team, saying, okay, the loss is behind you. And an offensive foul called against the USA. I think Boozer was backing in. 2 officials, of course, in international basketball. The officials today, one from Serbia and one from the Dominican Republic, as Boozer picks up his first. Jasikevičius, double dribble. Nobody touched it after he lost it. You know, we talk about NBA players who yell at officials. He yells at officials, Paul, more than any player I think I've ever seen, Jasikevičius.
He is one fiery, emotional guy. Allen Iverson back on the floor now as Larry Brown putting another offensive player on the floor. The last possession here, 3 seconds.
Iverson puts it up. That'll count if it goes, but they wave it off. Marion should have let that go. It had a chance to go in, at least from our angle. But he interfered and the buzzer sounded.
That's almost the identical shot that Allen Iverson hit against Germany at the end of the game to win that game by 3 in the exhibitions. The United States, though, very active. You see the light go off that well after the clock. It looked like it was going to be an air ball, so a smart play maybe by Marion, just thinking he could guide that ball into the basket.
At first it looked like it had a chance, but it certainly was not going to go in from that second angle. The United States down early, comes back, they lead by 3. Second quarter underway, and it has been a 12-point turnaround. Team USA down by 5 earlier, now with a 7-point lead. And there's no question this is the most aggressive they played in these Olympic Games.
Well, they forced 10 turnovers in that first quarter. Doing a good job defending the 3. More importantly, the United States is doing this. They're running, and the bench, once again, very, very solid.
Stoudemire called for travel. Only the 4th turnover for the United States.
This is the United States' best running team. When you look out there on the floor, LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, Boozer rebounding the ball, Stoudemire and Marion both getting out and running the wings. This is where they really want to get out and push the ball.
That's Yauskas. There's the shooter, but Wade gives him no room. Stripped to the ball. Wade backs it and saves it to Stoudemire.
Quickness just stifling right now. United States just smothering every possession.
Wade, ball knocked away, but James gets it back. LeBron James, wide open shot, nearly an air ball, but Marion able to get it. See, those were shots they were putting up earlier in this tournament. Now they're being more patient, and that's what the result is.
As a coach, you keep talking, guys, we don't need to take the quick shot. We don't need to take the quick shot. All of a sudden, maybe it takes you have to go 10 for 62 from the three-point line to realize you got to pound the basketball inside. The United States averages 48 points a game out of their 79 by throwing the ball in the painted area. 3 shots were passed up that would have been taken earlier in the Olympics. The extra pass made the United States on a 6-0 run, and they lead by 9.
Team USA with a 10-point lead. Almost 2 minutes gone by here in the second. Along with Doug Collins and Craig Sager, I'm Mike Green. United States playing against Lithuania. And Dudaskas with a nice little flip shot. He's 7 feet 2.
Really hurt him when he got in foul trouble early in the game. He picked up those 2 fouls. He's the only guy that gives him a shot blocker inside that can even contest any of the American players in that lane.
Former second-round pick of the Seattle Supersonics, Wade. Now pulls back, shot clock at 5. LeBron James can't hit. And Duncan, nobody near him. And then Szyskowskis fouls him, and Duncan will shoot 2. And you see Jasikevicius slams the ball. He does it, not only does he get mad at referees, he yells at opponents and yells at his teammates as well. He's very ornery on the court.
Yes, he is. And there's no question who the leader of this team is. Sometimes his emotions get the best of him. We saw it the other day in a game where it almost cost his team a game. He had got a personal foul and then a technical, and it was his 4th. Almost got disqualified in a very tough game.
Let's go over to Craig Sager.
Larry Brown and his coaching staff watched Lithuania destroy Greece Thursday night. At one point, Lithuania had a 38-point lead in the 4th quarter. When the game ended after midnight, the coaching staff went back. They broke down the tape, stayed up throughout the night. Then they had a practice yesterday that Larry Brown said was the team's best since they had been assembled. The focus was the best it's been by far. Today, he did not have a shoot-around. Instead, told the team to rest, prepare mentally. They came over to the arena early, an hour and a half earlier than normal, had a walk-through in an auxiliary gym. Afterwards, coach said, still a long way to go, but I think they're starting to get it. Mike?
Well, they're certainly starting to get it here in the first half as they lead by 10. Carmelo Anthony's in the game. He's only played 11 minutes the entire Olympics. Szyskowskis had an opening and put it in. Duncan mad at himself. An 8-point lead for the United States. Anthony's been a story because he has not hid the fact that he was upset with not playing. Carlos Boozer can't hit, and a foul down low. And I believe it's going to go against Tim Duncan. So Duncan picks up his first team foul against the United States. But show you a little something. Larry Brown, he was not happy with Carmelo Anthony, who didn't act appropriately after some of the losses by talking about his minutes. Anthony says, I'm with the program, I want to show it. And Brown giving him a chance now.
Well, now's his chance. Go out there and do the little things. Strong cut by Stombergas to the basket. He's going to get fouled by LeBron James, but this is Carmelo Anthony's chance. He's got a chance to come out there. He only played 3 minutes in the game the other day. But show Larry Brown with his body language, smile on occasion, that he feels very good to be a part of this team.
He said, I'm a laid-back type. I've got to be more energized. My body language is a big factor right now, and that's the signal I'm giving Coach. I don't want to get that signal. I want to show him that I'm ready to play. Stombergas hits. How about this, Doug? The United States has always been the favorite in every game they play pretty much in the Olympics. And teams can have a nothing-to-lose type attitude, very loosey-goosey. But Lithuania now, many people expect them to beat the United States. Is that a different feel for them on the floor?
Oh, sure it is. And all of a sudden there's pressure on you. Before, all those shots you took as an underdog were loose and free. Now if you're considered an equal or possibly the favorite, now there's pressure. And we know what pressure does.
Marbury. Duncan tries to keep it alive. Szyskowskis tips it to a teammate. And Marbury does a good job slowing down Jasikevicius. Szyskowskis, tough fall-away shot, won't go. And USA ball. They've won the bronze medal the last 3 Olympics, Lithuania has. Larry Brown was an assistant in 2000 when the United States nearly lost in the semifinals. But they have high expectations for Lithuania. Many of the players saying we don't want just the bronze. We expect more at these Olympic Games.
Look what that zone is packed down into. Carmelo Anthony catches that ball. He's at the free throw line when he catches that basketball. He's going to have to shoot a 15-footer. There's no place to go. And when you look in there, it's one thing about being unselfish, but if there are 5 guys in the paint, you got to take the 15-foot jump shot.
That's something he would not hesitate to take and be aggressive with when he's playing with the Denver Nuggets.
If there are no passing lanes, you can't force the action. Boy, Stoudemire is really just putting his head down and driving that ball to the basket.
Stoudemire was the flag bearer at the opening ceremony for Lithuania. As would expect, should have been extremely honored. He's 30 years old. He's been one of the best shooters in Europe for a long time. This is his second Olympics. He's played now in almost 200 international games. Excuse me, his third Olympics. He's played in 5 European championships, 1 world championship. Just a very experienced, heady player.
Well, when you look at Lithuania's team, other than the three-point line, they shoot 36 free throws a game. So when you run out at that line, they will drive that ball to the basket.
Jugauskas. And an offensive foul against Lithuania. And I think that's against Jugauskas. That'll be his third, and that is huge. We talked about that earlier, him getting into foul trouble.
You see him with that off arm pushing away. The United States bench helped make that call, but he has 2 offensive fouls out of his 3. He did try to get the shot blocked against Iverson. So now you're the coach from Lithuania. He's keeping him in the game, and he has a tendency to pick up that force. So if I'm the United States, I keep taking that ball right into his body.
Meanwhile, Mindaugas, Jugauskas comes in. They're not related. Odom had it tipped right back to him. Blocked, but a goaltend. That did seem like on the way down. Jugauskas doesn't like the call.
That was tough to see from that angle.
8-point lead for the United States. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining. And it's only a 40-minute game. Vasikevich is off the mark. 4 10-minute quarters. Unlike the 48-minute game in the NBA. It's a dangerous pass. Here comes Iverson. Americans by 10.
Keep your defense up. Anytime the ball is turned over, keep the pressure up on the opponent. You might get a second quick strike.
Lithuania very sloppy with the basketball. 13 turnovers. Nice feed. Aurelius Jugauskas to Mindaugas Jugauskas.
When I looked at the numbers going into today's game, I thought the difference in the game would be if the United States could turn Lithuania over, and they're doing that. That's the reason they have the lead right now. The three-point shooting is not a factor.
Marbury's had some open looks, and that one didn't fall. Ball kicked. Reset the shot clock. Now in the NBA, the shot clock was at 15, would stay at 15. International play, they always reset it to 24.
Ball going off the leg of Jugauskas, and Allen Iverson, one of the league leaders in the NBA perennially in steals, gets that easy layup. And the United States defense has been swarming. They've been deflecting passes, getting steals.
Vasikevich knocks it down. Back to a 5-point game.
After making 4 of their first 5 threes, Lithuania had gone 0 for 5. That was a much-needed 3 to sort of stem the tide a little bit.
Carmelo Anthony still in the game. There's the wide-open shot. Faked another 3. Jugauskas, good ball movement. Stoudemire. Jugauskas gets in. Duncan with a hand in his face to no avail.
Lithuania, they have great instincts. They pump fake you, and because you shoot it so well, they drive the ball in the gap. They always have you helping, Mike, on defense. And when you do, you have to keep making that rotation. Jugauskas is a nice-looking player.
They called him the Baltic Scottie Pippen. He's 25 years old. Was only a role player in Sydney when he faced the United States in that semifinal game. But he has really worked on his game now in his second Olympics. He is their leading scorer. So the United States in another tough game. Their lead is just 3. They've all been tough games recently, Doug.
Yes, they have. You go back to Sydney. This Lithuanian team, United States, won that game by 2. So much has been made about Jasikevich's 3 that didn't go. And then a tough game in the gold medal game against France. Only a 10-point game. Puerto Rico with a 19-point lead here in Athens. Greece with a tough game and only a 6-point game. And then Australia 10-point game. So all 5 of these games, 10 points or under.
5 different countries, and that shows you again how the gap is closed. And an Olympic loss is not what it would have been 4 years ago. Now, the loss to Puerto Rico, that was not the shocker. It was how they were never in
Correct.
the game. That was the shocking part. But there are so many teams now throughout that are good. A perfect example, we've talked about this throughout these games, New Zealand beating Serbia Montenegro. That's unheard of that a team from New Zealand would beat the former Yugoslavia. But the rest of the world is catching up. And now it is not a gimme for them to win the gold medal.
Well, when you look at the teams that are playing well now internationally, usually they always have a terrific point guard. Carlos Arroyo lead Puerto Rico. Šarūnas Jasikevičius here tonight leading Lithuania. Normally they have good three-point shooting, and they have a very good awareness of zone defenses and all the little nuances that the American players struggle with until they get in the field. The United States is getting a much better feel of playing against zone defenses.
Each game more comfortable. For this team, certainly. Marbury hesitated for a moment. Rebound, Shawn Marion tries to keep it alive, but undoubtedly Okaforas comes away.
Well, Lithuania has to be very happy right now with all the turnovers. They're only down 1 field goal or 3-pointers, so they have hung around despite the turnovers. Another thing, Mike, we used to see when the United States would get 8-10-point lead, teams would get deflated. They would drop their head and say, here they come the United States, we can't beat this team. Now you're seeing teams cut into deficits when they get down double digits.
Okaforas. Good entry pass, and Wade throws it away. The Uptokus, all 6'11" of them looking to score, and Dwayne Wade, who's played a good defensive game.
Look at the smile on his face. He said, where did that guy come from?
Dwayne Wade, of course, had that terrific rookie season with the Miami Heat, and then really showed what he could do in their playoffs. Jasikevičius, dunking the rebound. You just see the ball moving crisper, quicker, with less dribbles for Team USA. Anthony again. That time, no hesitation.
I felt all along he could be a big part of this team because he can really shoot the ball. He's a guy who can drive the ball to the basket, get to the free throw line. He's had his struggles, but he's given an opportunity here tonight, and he's taken advantage of it.
Okaforas goes right at Duncan, and Duncan blocks it. Tries it again, knocked away, and a foul call. Tim Duncan can't believe the call. Let's see who it goes against. Wade was in the area as well, but it's going to go against Tim Duncan. So he's got 2.
This is Scouts' game. He'll shoot the 3. He'll put it on the floor. Like we talked about it, he's shooting over 10 free throws a game. And here comes Dwayne Wade on the weak side with that shot block. How about he was... Allen Iverson was guarding the post. He was overmatched, and here comes Wade to block the shot. So you got your 2 guards inside defending against the big man, and Wade with a great block.
Help defense at its best. Okaforas, though, hits free throws. Just under 2.5 to play in the second. And the United States leading by 4. If you're hearing whistles, it's not the referee. They have whistles throughout the crowd. When they don't like calls, they whistle. Sometimes it can be confusing for the players. This place is packed, and it is loud. Marbury. Anthony again. Carmelo Anthony. Back-to-back jumpers. He came into this game 0 for 8 in the Olympics, and he's hit a couple. Stumbergas comes right back with a 3.
That's a big basket. The United States on a run to finish the half. Larry Brown taking a timeout. I think he's going to get Duncan out of the game with 2 fouls. Does not want him to pick up his 3rd. I think Larry Brown, as much as anything right now, has to have a smile on his face. Carmelo Anthony has picked it up here tonight when they've needed him, giving him an outside shooter against this Lithuanian zone. And the United States clinging to a 4-point lead.
With 1:49 remaining. Lithuania, in their first couple of games, they had a struggle against Angola. Angola considered the worst team at these Olympics. Lithuania only beat them by 5. Then they beat Puerto Rico by 8, hammered Greece. As Carmelo Anthony has done the job for the first time in these Olympic Games.
Well, he's in a rhythm. Sometimes all you need is that one jump shot to go down. The rest of his game will be picked up now because of that. We've seen LeBron James over the last couple games has been energized. He's played much better. So the Rookie of the Year and the runner-up, and you throw in Dwayne Wade, those three young players are now starting to pick up their level of play. So much has been made about how young the United States is, but all three of those players have shown they have the ability. They've just sort of got to get the feel of how they fit into this team.
You know, Doug, this team now has a chance to do something. Now, obviously, they felt bad about the loss because, again, how badly they lost to Puerto Rico. But they have a chance now to show people that they have some resiliency. They have some fight. In fact, Lamar Odom, after the loss, he said, you know what? I want to see how this team comes out of it. I want to see how this team fights back. And so far, they have fought back since that bad loss to Puerto Rico.
In that Lithuanian zone, look how they are packed back in.
Anthony's hit a couple, so Stumbergas has to come out on him. Wide open, gets it back. Won't go. Boozer's tip misses. Yaftokas with a rebound.
Lithuania is hanging around. Again, this is a team that shoots the three so well, so they're never out of the game.
The United States is led by as many as 10. Right now it's 4.
Great pass.
Yaftokas blocked by Boozer, but a foul.
Yes, the Cabbage is upset he didn't get the dunk. Look at him finish the shot.
He leads the Olympics in assists, averaging 7 a game.
Mike, I like a point guard like that that's got some fire, that's going to talk to his team, is going to talk to the coach, it's going to be a leader. You take on the personality of your coach, your point guard as a player, and you just feed off of it. This guy is a great leader. He's a winner, and that's what they talk about. And playing over in Europe, the guy is a winner.
Why wouldn't an NBA general manager say, between his skill level and his toughness, why wouldn't somebody want to scoop him up?
Well, probably people have talked to him about it, but he might be very confident being where he is, making the money he's playing what he's doing, what he's doing. Not everybody is, intent on running and jumping to the NBA. He could be very happy with his family, where he lives, and the money that he makes, and says, you know what, I don't want to make that change.
A lot of these European stars make big money and are stars where they play. If they went to the NBA, they'd get maybe a minimum contract, not get a lot of playing time, and some of them decide. Jasikevičius, though, has got the toughness and the skill level to perhaps play and be effective in the NBA. Dwayne Wade has had another strong first half.
His game is growing daily. You just see it getting more comfortable running the team. He's out there now with Marbury, so actually playing as a 2 guard.
And a foul call against the United States. We just talked about the whistles. Stephon Marbury just stopped for a moment, hearing those whistles, thinking a call was made. It can be very distracting. The United States in the penalty, so more free throws now for Stumbergas.
12.6 second differential. Will Larry Brown look to try to get a quick 2-for-1, push the ball up? In an NBA game, he would. The question would be, will he do it here tonight, or will he come down, settle for a possession to make sure he gets a good shot?
Second free throw off the mark. 4-point lead as we come in the final minute. Marbury trying to be patient. Wade. Short. Yaftokas. Shot clock turned off. Jasikevičius. Yaftokas. And the ball blocked Shawn Marion, but they're going to say a goaltend.
The reason you can rake that off, but the reason it's a goaltend is because they grabbed the net and pulled it down, which popped the ball up. So you can rake it off the rim, but you cannot grab the net and pop it out. And that's exactly what happened on that possession. So
the Lithuanian coach, Tanas Sireka, been the head coach to this team last couple of years, led them to the European Championships last year. And there's the foul. Lithuania had a foul to give.
And we've been singing the praises of the United States and how well they have played here tonight, Mike. You look over the scoreboard, it's a 2-point game with 4.9 seconds to go. Duncan has 2 fouls. Lithuania has turned the ball over a lot in the first half, so I'm sure the coach from Lithuania has to be very happy if he can get in here with down only 2 or 4 points.
As we said, the United States needed to play well if they were going to beat this team, as Odom knocks down a big 3 as the clock winds down. Lithuania undefeated coming in, considered one of perhaps 5 teams capable of winning a gold medal. The first big test for the USA. But at halftime, the Americans lead by 5. Lamar Odom with 8 points, tied with Tim Duncan for the team lead. United States by 5 against Lithuania as we get set for the third quarter, and we send it to our man Craig Sagan.
Well, Larry Brown, very positive in the locker room at halftime. He told the players, you guys played as a team. Defensively coming out, putting a lot of pressure on the ball. He said no D, no W. A couple of times he thought they gambled too much. That's what led to a couple of layups and easy shots by Lithuania. He wants less gambling in the half court. In the full court, go ahead and pressure them. As far as the offense goes, keep moving the ball. Don't worry about passing up open shots. Just go inside and then out, and the shots may fall, but you'll win with defense.
Doug Collins, would you say best half of basketball of their Olympic Games?
Yeah, I think they did a nice job in the United States of playing what they have to do against Lithuania. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can continue to pressure Lithuania with the turnovers. Lithuania, their 13 turnovers, they all came in the first 14 minutes. In the last 6 minutes, they had none. So maybe they settled down a little bit, but that was the difference in the game to me, was the 8 more shots at the basket.
Maciauskas steals the tip and puts it in.
That can't put a smile on Larry Brown's face. You give up the opening tip for a layup.
Maciauskas, the shooter, has been quiet as Lithuania back into that zone again. Nice feed inside to Duncan and a foul. Maciauskas hit him. Perfect entry pass from Richard Jefferson. It's so different, Doug, than the first couple of games and even their exhibition tour, in terms of they're just much more patient against the zone. They've seen it now.
That's the key. I mean, how often do these United States players play against a pure zone? We say, you know what, the zone is legal in the NBA. Not the pure zone. There's a defensive 3-second violation. In international basketball, you can put all 5 guys and put them packed back in the lane if you want to and have no place to go inside. So the United States are starting to find seams in those zone defenses by making the extra pass.
Lead is up to 6. Iverson bumps Maciauskas. Stumbergas trying to get free. Jasikevičius, Marbury in pursuit. Zukowski's open. Tip won't go, and Duncan the rebound. Iverson looking to push. Goes right at Stumbergas. Draws the foul. Won't go, but he'll shoot 2.
The one thing you cannot do in the open court is backpedal with Allen Iverson. When he sees you backpedaling, he's going to do one thing. He's going to get a little bit of an angle, and then he's going to drive right into your body to where he's creating the contact. He lives this kind of move in the open court in the NBA. You cannot backpedal with him. You got to turn and run, or you have to close the distance on him, but he is just too fast.
Stumbergas' 3rd foul. Iverson still playing with that non-displaced fracture of his right thumb.
Now watch this play, Mike. Now watch as Lithuania, watch them backpedal. See Stumbergas, he gets the angle, and then he bangs right into him. That's what Allen Iverson thrives on in the NBA. That's how he shoots so many free throws.
United States missed 5 free throws now. Their lead is 7. Their largest lead was 10. That was in the second quarter. Lithuania undefeated. 3-0 so far in these games. Maciauskas. Quick shot won't go. Duncan the rebound. Zukowski's trying to flop, but then Maciauskas the foul. We've talked about this a lot in the Olympic Games. You think that flopping is something you see quite a bit in the NBA? It is nothing compared to international basketball.
I don't know how the referees can distinguish sometimes between a foul. Sometimes we saw in this morning session like 4 or 5 bodies on the floor at one time.
Iverson looking. Odom. Duncan. Bank shot won't go. Maciauskas the rebound.
He doesn't like the bank shots on that side of the floor. More this side of the floor on the left side. That right side, you don't see him shoot it that often.
Good contingent of Lithuanian fans, been very vocal throughout the game. This place is packed. It holds 13,600. And Marbury had the foul, Zukowskis, so he'll shoot a couple.
A big part of international basketball now offensively is the screen roll that you see so much in the United States, especially in the middle of the floor. And the United States like to show that big man out. And they're getting Duncan involved to pull him away from the basket. And you've seen Zukowskis now roll the basket 2 or 3 times. And they've had some success with that.
Zukowskis playing in his third Olympics. He's played pro ball in Russia the last couple of years. Highly paid, big-time player there. Has never played in the NBA, but he's always been one of Europe's top shot blockers. Lithuania packing in the zone. Iverson, three-pointer won't go. Jefferson on the follow.
Well, you heard him talk to Craig Sager at halftime. He said, you know what, I got a free throw to start the game. I got a layup. Took a lot of pressure off my jump shot. Playing with a lot more confidence now that he's seen that ball go in the basket. He's always going to work on the defensive end.
He's got 9 points. Stumbergas lost it. Jefferson's defense helping. And Iverson threw it too far ahead. A rare turnover. One of the keys for the United States is they've been turning around in terms of turnovers. Only 7 turnovers against Australia. Only 6 so far in this game.
They had 22 against Puerto Rico, which was really a huge factor in that loss.
Zukowskis now with 11 points. Lithuania back within 5.
They're not going to go away, and they can shoot the 3, which makes them dangerous. We saw New Zealand earlier do the same thing. Mike, hang around because of their ability to shoot that 3.
Again, this is one of the best teams. One of the teams that can contend for gold medal. Talking about Lithuania as Iverson puts it in. We said the United States played against Lithuania like they did against Greece and Australia. They wouldn't win. They had to play better, and they have thus far. As Matsiauskas nails the 3.
He can really shoot the ball. You got to crowd him and make him pass the basketball. Many have talked about him as being the best shooter in Europe, but he struggles when you crowd him.
Duncan. And a reach-in foul.
That's huge. That's his 4th foul.
Their top shot blocker, top interior defender with 4 as USA leads by 4.
What?
Americans lead is 4. While you're away, Lamar Odom hit a 3. Matsiauskas hit a 3 for Lithuania. And Richard Jefferson with a beautiful block. It's a 4-point game with just over 5.5 to play in the third.
Big loss, though, for Lithuania. Zukowskis getting in foul cover. It's going to be a charge on Dwayne Wade as the game is getting a little bit out of control, but they have a major drop-off when you go to the bench, Mike, when you have Tokus out there as opposed to Zukowskis.
Meanwhile, Wade appeared to bang knees on that play. Comes up hobbling a little bit, tells Larry Brown, I'm okay.
And Larry Brown looked at him and said, slow down, no place to go. Let our big man get down the floor, Tim Duncan, run the ball inside and play off of him.
Zukowskis back in the game against Jefferson. Jefferson playing by far his best game at both ends of the floor. Jasikevičius. Matsiauskas. Wade knocks it away. Fires up a wild shot. Good defense from the Americans. Jefferson hammered in the head by Tokus. And then does a nice job helping him out. Good sportsmanship as Jefferson will go to the line.
This is Richard Jefferson's game. Get out on the wing and run 4 layups. He was going to go for the dunk there. Tokus took the hard foul, then showed great sportsmanship to come over and help him up. Richard Jefferson understanding nothing there intended other than not letting Richard score on that layup.
As we mentioned, Jefferson has been struggling throughout these Olympic Games. As he misses that free throw, he was shooting 15%, 4 of 26 coming into this game. He was too good a player to continue that way. He's come out now, he has 9 points in this game and just playing much more aggressively on the offensive end.
I've always said when you're struggling, get a layup, get to the free throw line. He did both to get started. He does miss 2 free throws there. And once again, United States clinging to only a 4-point lead. This Lithuanian team, remember, a tremendous 3-point shooting team at 47%. They average 11 3-pointers made per game.
USA has now missed 7 free throws. Matsiauskas trying to find a teammate. Tokus. Marinovic. Good defense from Wade. Boy, Wade's made some beautiful defensive plays in this game. The lead, however, is just 4. Marbury. Jefferson draws the foul. And Richard Jefferson ever present in this game.
You can always tell when a guy is confident because all of a sudden he starts making activity plays. The ball starts coming his way. He starts making things happen. And now what Richard Jefferson has to do is he has to step up and start making these free throws. United States shooting 59% from the free throw line in the Olympics. That's the 11th. That's out of 12 teams.
Jefferson hits the first. Richard Jefferson, of course, an up-and-coming star for the New Jersey Nets, led him in scoring. His parents, traveling missionaries. His first trip with him when he was 7 years old, went to Africa. He said it opened his eyes. His parents took such a great model for him, such role models. And one of the reasons he's here, he says, is an honor to his parents and all they've done for him.
Well, I tell you, I've really respected the way his game has grown. Came into the NBA as a great athlete, now is becoming a terrific basketball player.
Duncan all through that shot. Yaptokas couldn't hold on.
See the drop-off, though, without Zhukauskas in there. They throw the ball inside, and Lithuania just can't finish.
Marbury shot blocked. But a foul call. Duncan's follow will not count. Marbury will go to the free throw line. And that's what Marbury does best, attacking the basket. And Lithuania is going to call time. The foul goes against Mindaugas Zhukauskas. That's his first. United States by 6 here in the third. Stephon Marbury hits one of 2 free throws. United States up by 7. 4 minutes left, third quarter. Jasikevičius throws it right to Wade. Swarming defense by the USA. Wade, the pass to Marbury, and he's fouled again. So the defense, the key to it all again.
Well, Jasikevičius tried to come off that pick, and Duncan did a wonderful job of showing out and forcing him to turn the ball over. And Marbury on the run. You'll see him get to the foul line once again. Dwayne Wade's defense has been terrific. Maciauskas had hit a couple threes against Allen Iverson, and Larry Brown made the substitution to come in with Dwayne Wade, and he has been shadowing Maciauskas over the last 2-3 minutes, and he's not been able to get a shot at the basket.
Marbury knocking that one down. Stephon Marbury has talked as Iverson sits about Larry Brown, says he treats us as tough as he treats his Pistons. He says, well, Brown wants you to do everything right as a point guard every single time. Try and be perfect. It's not easy playing for him, but he's adjusting to Larry Brown's style, so he's making him a better player. Zhukauskas. Sangaila. And a foul on Wade.
Darius Sangaila has been very quiet tonight. Only 6 minutes in that first half. He got 3 fouls. And this is a guy who they were hoping, Lithuania tonight, that he would give them a big lift. Had a terrific year for the Sacramento Kings with some injuries out there. He stepped in for Chris Webber and Brad Miller with some injuries. Had a terrific career at Wake Forest. And he's a guy that can score, but has been in foul trouble all night and has really been a non-factor.
As we've said before, he's one of those unusual humans who enjoys contact. The more the better. Very physical player, but he's got good skills to match that physical play. However, 1 of 2 from the line. The United States has led since the first quarter. Bad pass from Shawn Marion. 2-on-1 the other way. Jasikevičius steps back. That's an interesting 2-on-1 break.
That's a Reggie Miller fast break. You get a layup and you step back and you hit a 3. And once again, here's Lithuania. It looked like the United States was going to get some distance. They pushed it to 9. Now it is back to 5, where we stood at halftime, Mike.
Every time it's usually with a 3. We're the best three-point shooting team in the Olympics, the highest scoring team in the Olympics. Shawn Marion rushed it. Sangaila the rebound.
When you can shoot threes, you're never out of the game. You can always catch up. I mean, it's a 2-possession game right now. Lithuania has the lead.
And again, it's 20 feet 6 inches. Gorgeous pass from Jasikevičius. Sangaila makes it a 3-point game.
Sangaila could be a big factor in this game. With Zhukauskas out with fouls, he could help make up for that difference. In the first half, that was not the case.
He doesn't have the height of Zhukauskas, but he's certainly as physical, if not more. Wade. Look how far off they're playing.
There's a dotted line. I mean, right now Lithuania is just daring the United States to shoot an outside jump shot. And on dribble penetration, there's no place for them to go.
A lot of these NBA players have never been that wide open on the perimeter. As the foul goes against Lithuania, they're in the penalty. It's going to go against Sangaila. That's his 4th, and that is huge. Especially with Zhukauskas also with 4.
Well, if you're Larry Brown, obviously you don't want quick outside jump shots. But if the defense is packed way back in there, you're going to have to take that little mid-range jump shot. You're not going to be able to force the ball inside. So use some clock. And then you're going to have to, it doesn't necessarily have to be a 3. It might be a 15-footer. But there's no place to go in the paint right now.
Again, for the United States coming into this game, they were abysmal from three-point range. As they just struggled the whole tournament, 10 of 62. But they're 4 of 9 in this game, and only taking good quality three-point shots.
How about Allen Iverson was 7 of 22 going into the game? The rest of the team was 3 of 40.
Sandala, good move, couldn't finish. Odom perhaps altering that. So you take away Iverson and just it's
3 of 40 for the rest of the team.
Wade is open, and that's a jump ball. The thing is, all right, we've talked about the players who aren't here and they could have used a pure shooter. But the players who are here, they aren't terrible three-point shooters, but they've just shot so poorly in this competition. Again, they're not the cream of the crop in terms of three-point shooting. But the guys who hit three-pointers in their NBA uniforms all the time.
That's no question. And I think what's happened now, it's become every shot they're thinking about that they're not making the shots, and it's just sort of snowball.
So the jump ball, of course, is a hell ball. Alternate possession goes to the United States. Odom, a couple of feet back, not a good shot. Boozer right there, and he's fouled. And Stumbergas upset Lithuania, arguing every call. They've got to be careful. Again, technical fouls count as personals.
Carlos Boozer just carves out all kinds of space with those wide shoulders and that wide body of his. He's been an excellent offensive rebounder for the United States throughout the Olympics, but he's been struggling at the free throw line. He's a much better free throw shooter than he has been showing here.
Stumbergas is fourth. As Boozer, Carlos Boozer, his original summer plans was to finish his degree. But he called his dean and said, hey, I've got some other things to do, so I'll get back to that in a little bit.
Well, he's going to major in finance. He signed a $68 million deal with Utah, so he's going to go back and get a finance degree, Mike, at Duke.
Not a bad decision. Jasikevičius. Stumbergas playing with 4 fouls. Not close. Odom tips it away, but Šeškauskas gets it back. Jasikevičius. And there again, the three-pointer. He is starting to light it up once again.
That was an excellent play by Stumbergas just to keep that ball alive. Tipped it out, and Jasikevičius is in the right spot at the right time.
He had 27 against the United States in those semifinals back in Sydney. He's got 16 in this one. Marbury, nice feed to Boozer, but a 3-second violation.
Again, though, there's no place to go. Marbury, these guys are going to have to take that jump shot. Dwayne Wade, Marbury, Lamar Odom, Shawn Marion. They're going to have to take a 15-foot jump shot, but just a hustle play here. Stoudemire picked up the loose ball. Jasikevičius knocks it down. And the three-point shooting, once again, keeping Lithuania in the game. They've cut their turnovers down this period. Like their 13 turnovers came in the first 14 minutes of the game, and they're one possession away from tying the United States.
Lovrinovich comes back in. He's 6'11", but he knocks down a bunch of threes. Lamar Odom's going to have to play him on the perimeter. There he is there. Quick shot. Lovrinovich won't go. Fight for the rebound. Marion comes away. Marbury off the dribble. Finds Wade inside. And a foul call against Lithuania. Good passing in the interior.
Free throw line, though. United States has got to make up this difference in threes. Lithuania 4 of 7 in this quarter for 12 points. United States only 1 of 5. So that's a 9-point differential. So you've got to make it up somewhere. And that somewhere is the free throw line. The United States getting there a lot there this period. Shooting 10 of 15 in this quarter. So they've been able to maintain the lead now 10 of 16 by shooting free throws, as Lithuania has been firing away at that three-point line.
USA has missed 10 free throws. How about Shawn Marion? You don't think he wants to win? He was part of that 2002 World Championship team that finished the disappointing 6th. He heard all the criticisms. They lost 3 games on their home turf in Indianapolis. Then he comes to Athens and they lose to Puerto Rico. And he has been very vocal with his team about, okay, we lost the game, but the gold medal opportunity is still there.
Carmelo Anthony checking into the game. He played about 6.5 minutes in the first half. He had a couple jumpers, a 3, and I'm sure Larry Brown is hoping maybe he can hit one of those perimeter jump shots that he does so well in Denver.
And a foul on Wade. United States in the penalty, so Šeškauskas will go to the line.
This guy mixes up his game nicely. Shoots the 3, gets to the free throw line. Attempted 31 free throws in the first 3 games, Mike. So he shot over 10 free throws a game. Had made 21 of them, so making 7 a game. A big part of his offense, 19 points a game, is he can shoot the three and he can get to the foul line.
Iverson back in. Dwayne Wade sits down. Shishkowski's like a lot of these European perimeter players in that they can knock down the three, but they also can take off the dribble. It makes them so tough to defend.
When you can shoot the three, the defenders normally have to close out on you, and it makes you a half step quicker offensively when a guy's running at you. Because now you can get him on the run, and it's much easier to attack him than if he's just standing there guarding you.
He's got 11 points. 2-point game. Shot clock turned off. What should be the final possession of this third quarter. Carmelo Anthony for three. Boozer throws it up, but it would not have counted, and that will end the third period. Again, the United States went up by as many as 9, but Lithuania and their three-point prowess comes right back. We head to the fourth quarter, a 2-point American lead. 69 on Lithuania's first possession of the period.
Well, the United States would like to take advantage of the fact that Stoudemire and Jasikevičius are out of the game right now. They're two really best players. Shishkowskis really plays off those guys, and the United States push their lead.
Carmelo Anthony thought twice about that shot. Wade, wild shot, he banks it in. Dwayne Wade with a circus shot. Wade having a terrific game. Wade a little shaken up on the play as he came down the floor. Offensive foul on Macijauskas. That time Allen Iverson did a good job staying in front of him, but Wade is hurt.
Well, Lithuania really does not have a point guard right now. You see Wade going to the basket. I don't know if he got banged or just twisted. He was sort of in a contorting move right there as he went to the basket. He falls down hard. But Macijauskas pushed off with a left hand on Iverson. No point guard on the floor for Lithuania right now. Can the United States take advantage of that?
Iverson a little overly dramatic on his fallback to help with perhaps the call. 3 fouls on Macijauskas. Duncan forces it up. Duncan can't believe the call wasn't made, and it's Lithuania's ball.
That's that move that he likes to make where he drags the ball through the defenders and hopes the defenders come down on his arm. It looked like somebody did, but in the congestion and no call.
There you see the turnovers. That has been huge for the United States, keeping them down the last couple of games. Duncan out on Shishkowskis, who wants to take him off the dribble.
Well, Songaila wants to post up against Wade. He's got the advantage.
Nice move from Songaila, and he draws the foul. Darius Songaila with a chance to tie it at the free throw line.
That was very good awareness by Lithuania. The United States switched the play. Songaila goes right into the post against Wade, who dove for the steal. And Boozer a little late getting over. And Songaila starting to pick up his level of play now. We talked, Mike, about him being in foul trouble in the first half, only playing 6 minutes. Shishkowskis having 4 fouls, has been on the bench over there, and Songaila's come in and done a nice job.
Boozer is third foul. There's the 7'2" center for Lithuania. Still with the 4 fouls. Just like the NBA, on the 15th foul, you shoot free throws. Each team with 1 team foul thus far.
See if the United States can get Tim Duncan back in the game. He was 3 for 3 in the first 6 minutes of the first quarter. Since then, he's only taken 2 shots.
Carmelo Anthony kicks it out. Iverson an open 3. Won't go. Duncan trying to tip it. Wade comes up with the ball. Duncan again puts it in.
Now, great effort on the boards that time by the United States. You know, Mike, in the Olympics, they are out-rebounding their opponents by over 13 offensive rebounds per game. And if you don't shoot it well, then you got to shoot it more times than your opponent. And that's what the United States is doing today with offensive rebound and forced turnovers. Multiple shots, multiple opportunities, and Duncan with a nice tip.
Duncan 13 points, 8 rebounds in the opening game. He tied a 32-year-old U.S. Olympic record with 16 rebounds. Your former 72 teammate, James Brewer, at 16.
Remember that first game against Australia, he set the tone.
Shishkowskis misses. Duncan clears the boards. Here comes Iverson. Iverson to Odom. Offensive foul on Odom.
No shot blocking in there, so Lithuania's going to take the charge. Zukowskis is the only guy that will go through the shot block. Everybody else looks to take the charge. Stoudemire, Lithuania was able to buy some minutes. He's getting ready to come in. And again, Lamar Odom, no place to go on the floor. No restricted area also in international play.
Odom's second foul. Just under 7.5 remaining. in the fourth. The United States, as expected in this one, in a real battle. Songaila draws the foul. It's going to go against Jefferson. And we'll take a break. A 2-point lead here in the fourth for the USA. Shawn just hits a shot. And Lithuania has their first lead since the first quarter with 6.5 to play.
And they're doing this with their leader, Jefferson, is on the bench getting a rest. Who is going to make a jump shot?
Iverson makes the move. Marbury, Odom, Iverson wide open. Jefferson tips it out.
Who is going to make a jump shot here, Mike, right now for the United States? They are struggling now to find any open area. No place to go in that zone inside. Somebody's going to have to make a jump shot.
Marbury long on the three. And the rebound goes to Stoudemire. The United States have led by as many as 10. That was in the second quarter. They had a 9-point lead in the third. Where Lithuania slowly chipped away. Shawn, that's long. And a foul call on Lavrinovic. For Lithuania, their third team foul. And here comes the two key players for Lithuania. Eurelius Shawn and Šarūnas Jasikevičius. Macijauskas sits down. Lavrinovic as well, who has 4 fouls.
Darius Songaila staying on the floor to play with the starters. Zakauskas and Stoudemire on that front line. Jasikevičius and Shawn out at the guard positions.
Jefferson, Marbury, back to Iverson. Iverson knocks it down. United States back up by 1.
Nice medium-range jump shot off that high screen by Tim Duncan.
Coming up on 5 minutes remaining. A victory for the United States, and they automatically get into the quarterfinals, the medal round. They'll more than likely get in regardless. Not a good shot from Jasikevičius as Duncan hauls it in. When the preliminary schedule came out, this was the game that everyone pointed to that the United States would struggle. Iverson nails a three. Back-to-back buckets for Allen Iverson.
Well, by percentage, he has been the United States best shooter from the perimeter. 7 for 22 from the line going into this. Tonight started out 4 of 7, finally knocked in a 3.
.455 remaining, fourth quarter. The United States just had lost the lead, but Allen Iverson hitting a pair of shots, including a three-pointer. And the Americans now back up by 4.
Iverson doing a nice job getting open on that wing. He had just hit a jump shot from about 16 feet. Coming off the top screen of Tim Duncan, he spots up 5 quick points to give the United States the lead once again after they'd gone down by 1. But Allen Iverson, the best percentage shooter the United States has from the perimeter.
Shawn to Songaila. Double team. Shawn couldn't handle it. Duncan and Odom with a strong double team. Iverson again. And Stoudemire the rebound. Lithuania 3-0 so far. They've been one of the more impressive teams. And as we've talked, one of 5 teams that are capable of winning the gold medal. Certainly Lithuania and the United States, Spain, Serbia, Montenegro, Argentina. And there is no longer a clear-cut favorite in these Olympic Games for the gold medal. Stoudemire, hard drive, draws the foul. He'll shoot 2.
What the Lithuanian players are doing now, they realize the United States is going to be able to block those shots. So they're driving in and they're creating contact. Again, Mike, so often we see in international play teams trying to take charges. You see all the flailing going on inside. There is a shot block opportunity, and Stoudemire will go to the line to try to cut the lead down to 2.
Duncan's foul is his 3rd. Sireka, the coach of Lithuania. 2-point game again, still with plenty of time.
Lithuania looks pretty confident out there right now. I think they feel like in their hearts they can win this game, unlike Sydney, where it was such a upset. For them to be that close, Mike, I think they feel very confident right now. Just look in their faces.
This team has been playing together for a number of years. Shot clock winding down to 3. Duncan, top shot. 4-point lead. LeBron James, you see up. He hasn't played much in this game, but supporting his teammates. Stumbergas drives. He's fouled, and the United States now in the penalty. Lamar Odom this time. We'll have a timeout. The foul not against Odom, against Jefferson. That's his second. Free throws for Lithuania as the USA leads by 4. There you see 28-year-old team leader Šarūnas Jasikevičius of Lithuania, who was 4 years ago in Sydney in the semifinals against the United States. USA up by 2. Lithuania had the basketball and a chance to win and advance to the gold medal game. Jasikevičius, it was a straight line, but came up short. And the United States won a thrilling game, advanced to the finals, and beat France for the gold medal. And these two teams battling once again. 5 players remain from that team on Lithuania that played in the Sydney Games. Of course, from the United States, the entire 12-man roster in their first Olympics.
Well, the free throw line could be the difference. We've talked about the United States. They shoot 59%. They're 1 of 2 here in the fourth period. Lithuania is 8 for 8, so they're plus 7 points at the free throw line. You throw in their 3-point shooting. The United States holding on to a tenuous 2-point lead with 3.5 minutes to play.
The largest lead here in the fourth quarter has been only 4. Jefferson left open. 3-pointer for Richard Jefferson. He has erupted here in his 4th Olympics game after struggling in the first 3.
He was 0 for 11 in the tournament before he took that 3.
And another foul on Jefferson. That's his 3rd, and Stumbergas will go back to the line.
How good does this feel for Richard Jefferson? Now, during the season, he shot 36% from the 3-point line in the NBA, had been 0 for 11. Steps up and knocks in a big one, but Stumbergas is going to drive that ball strong to the basket. And again, the free throw line, clock stops. Stumbergas, an excellent free throw shooter, walks up to the line to try to cut into that deficit once again.
You know, we talked about Szyskauskas being the Baltic Scottie Pippen. They used to call Stumbergas the Lithuanian Larry Bird.
He amended that, though. They said he's more like Detlef Schrempf. And that ain't all bad. Detlef Schrempf had a heck of a career in the NBA.
No, sir. You don't want to be compared to Larry Bird. You're not going to win that comparison. Jefferson, that time didn't know what to do once he got up in the air.
The United States does not want to commit a foul. Force Lithuania to try to score from the perimeter.
Good ball denial from Marbury. Jasikevičius draws the foul and puts it in. A 3-pointer and a chance for a 4-point play.
Did you see the look on his face when he walked by Lamar Odom after he hit the shot? Look at his eyes now. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it on this angle, but he scores. And after this is over, he's going to walk in front of Lamar Odom and watch him look at him. He doesn't say anything, but his eyes speak volumes.
And Lithuania back up by 1. Šarūnas Jasikevičius, the tough leader for Lithuania, gives them the lead. Marbury, Iverson left open. Nearly stuck. Duncan's tip won't go, and Stumbergas comes away. A seesaw battle here in the fourth quarter. He wants to shoot it again from 3. Puts it in. The United States trails by 4.
3-point shooting.
The crowd getting into it. Jasikevičius with 23. Marbury for 3. Won't go.
Not even close.
Duncan. United States does not need a 3. There's still plenty of time.
Well, they're going to give him the 3, Lithuania. They're not even challenging him.
Jefferson puts it in. Richard Jefferson once again, and it's a 1-point game. 17 for Jefferson. Jasikevičius from 3. It's raining threes here in Athens.
Well, they got to trap him. The United States are allowing him to come off and just shoot that three. That's back-to-back wide open threes. He got a great rest to start the fourth quarter. His teammates held in there. They cut into the lead actually when he was resting. Now he's come in with fresh legs and he's firing at will. The United States has got to get the ball out of his hands.
He's got 26 points. He's hit 7 3-pointers. 10 of the 26 have come here in this fourth quarter. And once again, it's a 4-point lead for Lithuania.
Richard Jefferson again, after going 0 for 11, hits back-to-back threes for the United States. That actually cuts the lead to 1 after the United States had taken a 5-point lead. But look at the three-point shooting. Lithuania 13 of 27. United States 7 of 19. So plus 18 at the three-point line for Lithuania. And again, he was wide open. That's a 20-foot 6-inch shot, Mike. You got to get out there and trap him. Duncan did not show up that time, and they've run the same play 2 times in a row.
And Zukowski sets a pretty big screen. Tough to get over it, so you need that help. So with 1:38 remaining, United States trailing by 4. And the big 4-point play was the key one.
Watch him stare at Odom here, though, if you get a chance. Watch him as he walks by him. Look at his eyes. Just sort of glanced at him. Walked to the line, made the free throw to put Lithuania up by 1. This is one tough young guy right here. We talked, Mike, in our open. We said if Lithuania was going to win this game, this young man was going to have to lead them. There's still a lot of game left. United States, though, who's going to make an outside jump shot? We've seen Richard Jefferson make 2. Iverson make 1. But you know they're not going to allow Duncan to lay the ball in the basket.
Each team has a timeout remaining. United States trying to avoid their second loss of these Olympic Games. Marbury, hard drive, blocked by Zukowski. The presence of Aurelius Zukowski once again.
The United States does not want to panic and take a free throw. Still plenty of time left here.
Especially with the shot clock winding down. Zukowski's trying to get free and throws it off the leg of Lamar Odom. 4 left on the shot clock. 58.7 left in the game. Each team with a timeout left.
Big defensive possession for the United States here. They cannot allow Lithuania to score with a short shot clock.
Marbury called for the foul, trying to deny the ball grab. Jasikevičius, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
What a tough foul to commit there. It looked like the shot clock was going to wind down. The ball was deflected. It was laying loose. Right there, the foul. That's a touch foul at that stage of the game. With all the reaching and grabbing that goes on, 56 seconds to go. It's tough to make that kind of call.
He whacked him in the head. And he'll go to the line.
Again, the free throw shooting in the fourth quarter. United States 1 of 2. Lithuania 11 of 11. With Jasikevičius shooting number 12 here now. 12 of 12 going for what with the United States would be unlucky 13. But for Lithuania would be sweet for 13. I'll tell you that.
He has 11 points here in the fourth quarter. Now an even dozen. A 6-point Lithuania lead. USA with under a minute to go. They extend the defense. Jefferson for 3. Bang! Richard Jefferson from downtown, and it's back to a 3-point game.
The United States does not need to foul. It's a 1-possession game. They want to get a stop and then plenty of time in this game. You do not want to do anything silly and foul because you're impatient or you're panicking.
There's the double team. Sangaila tied up. Jefferson with the steal. And Jefferson fouled. They have a foul to give, so the United States will inbound with 26.3 remaining, trailing by 3. Jasikevičius argues it as Larry Brown will call his final timeout. There's a 2.3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Jefferson will not shoot free throws here. They'll take it out of bounds. Now Lithuania next foul will put them in a penalty.
Well, the United States, I mean, you look at it, their three-point shooting has come to life a little bit here in this fourth period. Richard Jefferson has made some huge shots to even keep the United States in the game. You know, do you go for a 3 or do you try to get a quick 2? You're out of timeouts. If you have to foul, Lithuania is 13 of 13 from the free throw line. So a lot of discussion going on right now in that United States huddle.
Although in international rules, there's no such thing as that away from the play foul. So you can foul anybody on the court right away. So you can find out, all right, which is the poor free throw shooter and foul him if you want to go that route. But you can't do like you do in the NBA. In the NBA, what happens, it's one free throw and you get the ball back. So some interesting strategy for Larry Brown. Obviously, they have not shot the three-pointer well. Have done it much better in this game. The first 3 games, it was a struggle, but Richard Jefferson has knocked down some big shots. And this game, of course, in their pool, United States trying to prove to 3-1 Lithuania, the only undefeated team in Pool B. Lithuania is already in the quarterfinals. USA, a victory will put them in it. They'll still most likely get it, but it won't be official yet.
Richard, the last 9 points for the United States. Okaforas is the last 12 for Lithuania.
Iverson, Lamar Odom, look to be looking for a 3. Jefferson will try another 3. Won't go. Rebound tipped and taken by Stumbergas. They have to foul now. Okaforas is trying to get away. Marbury trying to poke it away. Ball loose, and Odom with the foul with 5.1 remaining. And the United States down by 3.
I'm a little shocked the United States played that for a three-pointer with 26 seconds to go and it not being their strength. They could have got a quick 2 or tried to get to the basket, make something happen. When you miss that 3, really it puts you in a tough situation, and it was a contested 3 at that.
So Shawn will go to the free throw line. Shawn shooting 68% from the line here in the Olympics, so he misses the first. This is the key one.
All right, if he misses this, does Lithuania take the foul so the United States cannot get a 3 off?
Marbury drives the lane, tried to draw the foul. Odom, and the United States has lost to Lithuania. For the first time, the United States men's basketball team loses twice in one Olympic Games.
What a tremendous effort by Lithuania. It looked like the United States had pulled away. They led by 9 in the third quarter. Okaforas with a tremendous effort. I thought Darius Semgaila off the bench was terrific. The three-point shooting the difference, and then in the fourth quarter, like 14 of 15 from the free throw line to seal the deal. The United States only 1 of 2.
But they are still not out of a chance to win a gold medal. The United States, if they win their final preliminary game against Angola, they would make it in to the quarterfinal round and still very much alive. And this game, as we said at the top, although the United States probably played their best game of these Olympics thus far, Lithuania is a team that, if they won, it's not considered an upset.
The difference in the game was three-point shooting and free throw shooting. And 2 of the United States' weaknesses, although Richard Jefferson did hit some 3s late, Allen Iverson hit a big one late. The free throw line, the three-point shooting, Lithuania prevails.
Let's go and see once again Lithuania defeating the United States. We'll be back with more after this timeout.